transformation. That's not pride. That's humble recognition of templates that nature has created for abundance. So our position is that if things are not well, nature's default position is wellness, not sickness. And so if something is not well, then our first question is, well, what did we do to impede wellness? And that's a far different attitude than the notion that there's sickness fairies filtering down dust of this disease and that disease and something else. So it's been a wonderful thing. And to be able now to step out the back, when I do media interviews, and when they say, well, what floats your boat? What gets you up in the morning is walking out on the back porch, and I don't have to stand idly by. I can be a participant in the healing. And that's an honor and a privilege. It's a responsibility for sure, but it's also a great honor and a privilege. And all of us that participate in that, share the mission, the heartache, and the gratitude of seeing those things happen. And I'm sure all of you have seen healing in some respect, whether it's healthier animals, healthier soil, healthier biodiversity, healthier economics, all of those kinds of things. And boy, if there isn't one message we need to hear today, isn't it? It's a message of healing.
We've given you a whole lot of notes, Joel, and you said that we challenged you. And I was just wondering then the way to approach this. I mean, they're quite sort of big picture questions in that, where would you inspire us? And I'm not sure if that's where we start or that's where we end. The big question was, imagine this is now your team. They've been handed to you with the background that a bit of a background that you understand. I was being asked this morning this question, have you some sort of certification and, standards? How do you make sure everyone's up to scratch to be able to go out and help farmers? I would consider it a conventional mindset that there's these standards out there that you have to tick a box. Our approach is quite different from that, and we are looking for the unique genius and the fresh ideas. Sometimes the untrained better than the trained. Some people just have not had their intuition closed, if you like, from going to. I'm not saying there's everything bad about university, but it's not the only way, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. We, as a fairly unique group of individuals, we're embarking on this. How do we make the difference that we know we need to make in the shortest amount of time to get people feeling as inspired as you do when you walk outside and see the land as you do?
I took all your questions and made some notes so I wouldn't get on here and be totally tongue-tied. But since you've kind of started on a little bit of a spontaneous track, I'll kind of go big picture on an answer. And that is, people are starved for a success story. So much of agriculture today, even life, it's hard to nail down the success of it. I mean, if you go to any normal agriculture conference, 80% of the discussion is about diseases, sicknesses, problems. When you are trying to communicate with someone, you always start with pain first and then move to solution. They have to know that you understand their pain, that you understand their problem. And I thought how true that is. Most people are so much in pain that they don't have the confidence to step forward. And so that makes me think, okay, if what people need is confidence, how do you get confidence on a scale that is small enough to overcome the risk of innovation? Innovation is always risky because the chances of failure are pretty high. So people are fearful, even paranoid of innovation because by definition, innovation is new. It hasn't been tried. And it may be just new for them and maybe not new for us, but it's just new for them. I think sometimes when we're trying to help somebody, look, we have a lot of confidence. We've seen big changes. We've seen things work, maybe for several years in different locations. We come, strutting in here with all this confidence, and we're dealing with a farmer for whom this is brand new. I said, we have been down this road. We will not let you fail. Trust me, we will not let you fail. And it struck me after that, the absolute, the intimidation, the emotional intimidation of innovation, and how necessary it is to either have coaches to help you through. That's one good thing. But the other thing is that for us as coaches, to recognize that fear, that worry, and not try to push them faster, to make changes faster than their comfort level. They need something, the littlest thing, to be successful. I tell people sometimes when they talk about controlled grazing, don't change the whole farm. A little itty bitty piece, all right? And just put the herd in there, do your continuous grazing everywhere else, and just put your herd in that little spot for this season. Do it my way, do it the right way, for one season, try it, experiment. You can't hurt anything. It's too small. At the worst failure, it's not going to be a big deal. And that gives them a small enough trial to test. And then when that's successful, then you see their confidence level build, their eyes, get bright, and then they're willing to embrace something else. But we have to make our experiments small enough to not be threatening economically, emotionally, socially, mentally, and spiritually for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Joel. There was a couple of things that were really poignant there. Firstly, small solutions that were life-changing. Sometimes if we just approach the answer all the time, that we're worried that there's always a bigger picture that they need to grasp. But I think that what you're saying is don't go big picture too soon. Go to the small wins. And,
Yes.
And understanding the real pain of what somebody's going through. Yeah.